Hey guys, welcome to another fun and exciting iMight GT7 stream. This is the final round of the manufacturer's season at Fuji. Again, I'm with Nissan. I'm using the Nissan GT500 1999 car. 12 laps with 1 times fuel, 1 times tyre wear on hards only. Yeah, and I during the week I thought it's just too simple. It's got to be rain. Surely there's got to be rain. During the day I ran my second account in GT2, a DRB group car, and did okay. Wasn't sure if I was going to do this one, but here I am. I'm doing it. It's a bit of a hectic race, so I was a bit concerned about the heavy damage. So I thought, well, this is race 1 of the day, and I thought I'll start at the back, of course. Keep clear of the chaos. Usually turn 1, bang, already. I thought, a couple of people get thrown off. I just wanted to keep clear of any chaos. So starting 15th, so really P7, top 50% is the goal. Ooh, going through shadowed ghosted cars. Yeah, so finishing off P7 is the goal. Was pretty happy with my time trial times, more people going off, and this is mainly the reason why I start at the back in most races. I don't want to be the person in the middle of the pack being knocked off. I've had that before in races where I've done a lot of practice and I'm ready to rock and roll, and I get knocked to the back, and it's one hell of a battle to try and get back to where you were. Whereas if you start at the back, there's only moving forward. Even if I get knocked to the back, that's where I started. So big motivation to start at the back. And ice pick each person off one at a time, and the longer the race goes and the more spread out people become and the more vulnerable they are. Yeah, I've been learning a lot from starting at the back, how to maneuver around cars, how to I can't think of the word at the moment, negotiate around someone. This is I'm not too sure if this guy is an Aussie. Did race against him in the past, and he seemed a bit suspicious. And you'll see, like there, bang, he's just hit someone there. There's a dive. Got a bit of damage there on my right hand suspension, so just a tiny bit. But I wasn't happy with that. I can't remember. I was probably up to P9, dropped back to P13 there. And that's kind of thrown me at the moment. Yeah, I was saying before, during the week I was doing time trial. I was pretty happy with my time, but I didn't have too many other people to compare myself with. I have become friends with a group of slappers lately. You're probably watching. And really the main motivation of that is to compare my lap times against other people. I don't have too many GT1 friends, so it's not a lot to compare. And my setup is traction control 3. So yeah, I've been doing obviously I try with 0 assistance at first, but I could spin this car quite easily. I'm not that sensitive when it comes to the accelerator, and so in practice, if I can spin the car, guess what I'd be doing during the race when I'm a bit nervous, I'm not really feeling too much, I'd just push and spin. So traction control 3. This guy, that's Porsche GT doing that, and he's paid a 2-second penalty, and then he's trying to jump in front of people and go so that they'll bump him forward. What a dog. That's what I said while I was racing. What a dog to be doing that. Was not happy with that. I thought, you effing dog for doing that. That is so obviously poor etiquette there, and almost he almost collected me. Anyway, yeah, so pushing forward, so a lot of practice, and I found even traction control too. Even around here, I just go into a tiny bit of a slide, which your natural instinct is back off a bit. So traction control 4 was just a little bit too much, but 3 was about spot on. I want to be able to push out of corners with a bit of confidence. Occasionally I would slide around in this part, which was a bit interesting. Anyway, the guy in front has a half-second penalty, so hopefully I should be able to get past him, and I'm back to P10, so get past him, I should get back to where I was, P9, before I got dive bombed by a Japanese guy who did apologise at the end of the race. I looked at the replay, he wasn't being pushed into the corner. I think he just got his braking wrong. I could see him in my mirror just coming in hard. And I still got that Porsche GT 2 places behind me, the filthy guy. There's another guy in here I've just become friends with, and that is GMR Pirate Racing. I raced against him at Daytona, and he sent me a friend request. I accepted it, and next month I realised, oh, he's in the race. Well, as that Porsche GT guy was paying his 2-second penalty, Pirate Racing decided he'd just go straight through his ghosted car, which came out of ghosting, and Pirate Racing got a blown engine from colliding with him. So I think Pirate Racing had to do a full lap with a blown engine and then pit to repair the damage. And you know what? The damage was done, and there was a little slide there. During the week I wouldn't really feel that, but I was experiencing it on the day. Now there's that guy in front who's just got a bit squirrely there. That tells me no traction control, which is good news for me. If I can put him under pressure, I'll push a little bit harder than normal, and there again, and that should just help me begin to catch up. It's a pretty good slipstream down here, so a little bit concerned about the guy behind. Yeah, so the GT2 DRB guys, which I did earlier, that is 10 laps, and this was 12 laps. Not a lot of difference. You know, there's about 45 laps of fuel in this car, so it's ridiculously overfueled, and it's hard tyres. I did suspect during the week, I bet you there's going to be rain thrown into this, but nothing in the GT2 races, and nothing in this, so just a straightforward race, slightly boring and just more hectic. So from P9 back to P10. Just really leaning on that traction control 3. Don't know if I mentioned my brake balance is at I think it's 5 at the rear. So that damage I've got, which is the front right suspension, doesn't seem to be having much of an effect. Not really slowing me down a hell of a lot. I wonder whether or not it's because we're on hards, that if softs were involved, you'd notice it a bit more. So I guess at this point, my focus is just stay close and stay in the slipstream. Don't let these guys go. Not really focusing on getting past them, but just staying with them. And hopefully there's a mistake from one of them to get past, but just mainly stay in the slipstream. That's obviously so I can keep with them, but also to try and get away from the guy behind. Three cars going off track there, and I thought, oops, there's going to be a penalty for all three, but it looks like they have got away with that. Now what a switch that was. Here it is, this lap here. Now I've got to look at the replay. I guess I have made contact just a bit, but the guy who's directly behind me now, ASN, doesn't take that too lightly here, and he just slams me. Trying to think of where to rejoin the track. Really wasn't happy with that. So now I've got a rear fender damage. It's really taken back by that. I'm sure my braking was at the normal position, and he's just decided he'd push me off track. Now let's just let the guy behind me really catch up. So I'm in P10 at the moment, so I would have been P7, I guess. P7, P8. So the guy behind, he must have had damage, because he's now just jumped into the pits. So that's given me a big breathing space. It's probably around here I'm, you know, just at the shock of being hit off track is now sort of settled, and I'm trying to feel my car to see, can I feel any difference in the handling, and not really. Again, it's not too bad, and I'm catching Antiox, who's an Australian, catching him pretty hard, so I'm guessing maybe he's got pretty hard damage. And there was no consideration for pitting, only if it was real obvious. Now me getting past that guy was a bit of a sign of just stay out. I really wanted P7 and to pit at this late in the race. It's only 12 laps. So you can see the last lap I did where I got knocked off, I did a minute 47. So that's about 5 seconds. And then a minute 43 trying to, you know, get past Antiox. But the handling and the pace of the car doesn't seem too bad. There's nothing telling me I've got major problems going on. Yeah, going over the replay, looking through, a lot of people with damage. It's not the best race, really. I think the short races from start to finish, no strategy, just lead to people trying to push each other out the way. So 3.5 laps remaining. Now I was pushing my luck there. I thought, oops, might be a penalty. No. Phew. 3.5 laps to go. Got a bit of work to do. I seem to be catching these guys. So again, I thought maybe their damage is pretty bad. So this contact, this a lot of movements from these guys is just helping me out. Let's catch up. The battling. 2 Japanese guys. Yeah, this bit here. I just they're in out. I've got slipstream. No, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. And I'm just catching them up. I'm just thinking they're just getting silly. Look how much I've caught up. And Antiox is, what, 4.5 seconds behind. So getting away from Antiox, and I'm catching hard with these guys. I didn't realise it was a guy in front of me who punted me off. And he's lucky I didn't. I don't know what I would have done. Although during the day I did think to myself, you know, some people will get a lot of damage, get really angry, and then just start hitting other cars. Because I guess once you've got damage, it can't get any worse. So some people's mentality is, well, I'll make sure everyone else gets damage as well. So I thought, you know, hitting this guy off, for example, isn't really going to serve me well. So knocking him off track is not an option. And I think I did this in my race earlier during the day, bump drafting, just to sort of show them I'm their friend. Hopefully it doesn't give damage, which it doesn't. It's not too much of a hit. So 2 laps to go now. It's gone a bit deep, but I guess when you've got someone behind you bump drafting, you appreciate them. So I'm, in a way, I'm just giving them a false sense of security. It's a little bit early, and that's really the point. It's a bit early to be going for a pass. It just invites battling. So I can bump draft him, and I wanted to push him up towards the other guy, you know, like, you two get back to battling again. But we got 1.5 laps to go, so you'll see down the final straight I'm pretty close to him, so I begin to bump draft, and then I wait for my moment. I pick my moments, and I'm coming up behind him for maybe the 3rd time to bump draft, and he just sits there still waiting for it, and then I just pull out and begin to pass. So at this point he's probably thinking, well, if he just tries to stay ahead, I will bump draft him along. So here we go. And he will just sit still waiting for it. One little tap. And so I'm thinking, well, it's a long straight, one more. There you go. And then the next one, we're getting a bit late now. If I bump draft him, I'm a bit far behind. So I've just sort of bluffed him there. again, I really wanted P7, so I thought maybe if I can try and catch up to this guy. And go defensive on the guy behind, because I'm not getting away from him. And I thought, well, he's now in my slipstream. Is there any chance that he'll be able to take advantage of it? Yeah, so a bit disappointed with the mainly the guy behind me, the way he punted me off on this corner. And maybe the switch that I did maybe looked a bit aggressive to him. But I think really in the replay, he's the one actually doing most of the movement. I've moved a little bit to left, but he's done a lot of the moving to the right. So just going up on the inside now, try and cut the corner, try and catch up to this guy, get in his slipstream and get past him, but it's a bit late and I felt a bit safe from the guy behind. So after all that, from P15 up to P8. That was the first race of the day, and that was it for me. I can imagine it could only get worse. So 15 up 7 places up to P8. Hopefully enjoyed the stream, guys. Looking forward to watching your streams, and see you on the next one. Bye for now.